postseason programs getting after it today. And Maddie May on her senior day opens up service here in Chapel Hill. Flor Marie, an early swing, nation's leader in kills per set. Dug out well defensively by Haley Pierce, the Virginia Tech transfer. Heredia Cologne on the tip. She was unstoppable last Saturday, hit 350. And there's a slide in the middle. Quick point for Dahlia Wilson, the Turkey product.
Wilson able to come up with the kill after a couple attempts from Heredia Cologne. That's something that she does so well. Heredia Cologne draws so much attention from UNC blockers that it opens up the other side of the net.
This Miami team leads the country in service aces, an elite service club. And they play in system. That's a dangerous combo, but a block of the Tar Heels early. This was key, Amanda. Their block slowing down Miami's attack.
No surprise, it comes from Jackie Taylor, that sophomore coming over from the middle to shut down the big play. We talked about it, top 5 in the ACC in blocks, sitting top 25 in the nation in that category.
This is best on best. This is what you want to see this time of year. A slide again for the Hurricanes and a tip by Rodriguez, who plays the net. Tar Heels set up their attack. Now from the right, Thorpe tools the block and a first kill for the Chicago native.
Thorpe's production not only important for this Tar Heels team, but her energy, it is contagious, infectious. She brings so much to the court besides that point earning.
Thorpe had 16 big kills in the Florida State loss. She was the anchor offensively. As Rodriguez scoops one back in play, Heredia Cologne into the net, and there's the effort of Ariana, the senior captain setter.
Yeah, Thorpe has really been coming on lately. Led the team in kills 6 times this season, 4 in the past 6 games.
Watch out, Ariana. Carmichael Arena, new Terraflex court. Makes it a little easier for the diving efforts. Big improvements here, back-to-back 20-win seasons. Now there's some hosting conversation, at least going into last week. As that ball's ruled in, nice kill from Haley Pierce on the outside.
Great job by Pierce, but a nice job by Hampton to get that ball up for that high bump set. Getting that one, trying to get this team to get off an as aggressive attack as they can, even when they're out of system.
Late in the year, but Pierce has been one of the biggest portal additions, interconference in the league. And there's an ace. What a start for Zoe Barrett on the service line.
The service line hasn't been North Carolina's strong suit, but if there's ever a time to pack a punch behind that line, it's now against Miami.
That ball had some English on it. Beautiful float serve, but this one goes into the net. And now we get to see the best serving team in the country, Miami, back to serve. And their serve specialist, Ariana Rodriguez, no player with more aces in the country. And she gets, folks, if you're watching at home, just enjoy these beautiful serves. Pierce absorbs that one. And puts it away in system. How vital is that serve receive for the Tar Heels today?
It's a great job by Pierce, getting targeted on that serve, trying to handle that pass, and she does. Absorbs that topspin, something that Coach Shaw said they've been practicing this week thanks to some of their coaching staff members that can bring in that topspin, show them that look. Pierce passing and killing.
Yeah, Coach Nia Parker Robinson, she was doing the top serving all week to get ready for this Miami service unit. There's Barrett to the floor, great effort. And cleared. Rodriguez now in system. Heredia Cologne, what a blast, and May picks it up. The energy early here in Chapel Hill. Better save Feliciano. And Heredia Cologne, she's pumped up with a big kill.
What a rally. 2 liberos up for the challenge, followed up by hustle plays on both sides. But Heredia Cologne caps it off with a kill. Tools off the high hands.
Well, for the selection committee watching, we're seeing high-level volleyball through 9 points. And here's the National Player of the Year favorite, Flor Marie Heredia Cologne. Nasty serve, and that goes out of play. Well, this is where Miami's special on the service line.
Heredia Cologne second in the ACC with that serve. 6th in the country when she racks up these aces.
Yeah, they have 2 of the top 10 servers in the country. It's very efficient, high-powered attack. This one hits the tape. Now Sophie Hampton's first touch is dug out. Really tight set. Hampton wins it at the net. Good blocking from the heels.
North Carolina is going to take every opportunity of that advantage when an overpass, an overset, when it gets too tight. The Tar Heels are going to come up big.
Hampton held in check just 5 points Saturday when these teams met in Coral Gables. No hitting errors for the Tar Heels early in set 1. Right side attack is down for a point. That's Jasmine Vergara, a grad senior, has been a nice piece on the outside for the Hurricanes this year.
Yeah, this is her 4th stop collegiately, but she's found success being able to add that depth for Miami on that outside. Obviously, Heredia Cologne gets a lot of the light. They've got depth on that pin. With
Amina Njai questionable today, needing pin production. That'll be huge with Vergara early. Now a back row for Cologne, and a nice touch. 2 early kills for Floyd.
It's not just the rips and the service aces. Heredia Cologne can make an impact all over the court. And that was a tough set, not really a great set, but she's able to track that one down, a light touch with the fingers. Like Muhammad Ali, she floats like a butterfly, but she can sting it from time to time. Just fantastic offensive player. Thorpe's big blast goes out of play, and there's the Tar Heels' first hitting error of the match. North Carolina has done such a good job before then, right, to minimize those errors, something that Miami really induced against them last week, holding them to a season-low hitting percentage. This is Feliciano, the libero. Thorpe, some early swings from the right, a nice kill. This will be important to balance in the Tar Heels offense today. Yeah, you're kind of talking Hampton didn't have her best match, but they've got depth. When somebody's not having their best day, someone else can step up, and whether it's Taylor, Thorpe, Pierce, they've got options. A tough turnaround Saturday to Wednesday at Virginia this week, but Thorpe hit 590 in that UVA match. Really gave them some separation in a straight set sweep. Here's an overball. Nice effort, but that's put down in the middle. There's where Lauren Shutter can be important. Shutter, one of the best natural blocking athletes on this court for North Carolina. She has such a natural knack for reading the ball. Again, those overpasses, oversets, North Carolina is going to have the edge. Great in-system play. That's where Dahlia Wilson can be dangerous, the 6'4" senior. In matches where she hits 300 plus, Miami's undefeated this year. When she is on, and so is Miami. And I think that also goes to show when Miami can diversify its offense, when they're not relying on Heredia Cologne and they can balance that attack. That's a good sign for the Hurricanes. Got a hand on that, but Shutter quickly in system. That's 6 early kills for the Tar Heels offensively. Shutter with a nice block. A couple plays before, now offensively showing some power. And here's the power arm for the Tar Heels on the service line. Sophie Hampton. That goes into the net. A hitting error for Sonja Danilovic, the Serbian native, who in the last 3 weeks, Amanda, has become that huge secondary arm offensively. Yeah, the freshman really having to kind of get thrown into the fire, but her number being called, and she has stepped up to it. She has a lot of experience playing for the Serbian national team, so she has played against, you know, a lot of top talent. And her sister Olga is a professional tennis player in Serbia. A lot of fun stories there, with the Olympics coming to Los Angeles in 3 years. Heredia Cologne from the 10-foot line is tipped. Nice diving effort. That was Kaza keeping it alive. Rodriguez goes middle. Another good effort, Kaza, and cleared. Carmichael responding to the energy. And Cologne is roofed. Lauren Shutter's active hands here early. An awesome hustle for North Carolina's back row. That's a setter in Kaza playing some defense, keeping that ball alive, back-to-back digs to allow Lauren Shutter the opportunity for the stuff. Mike Shaw noted set 1 at Coral Gables. You lose 25-11. Need to pick up the intensity. Rashina here through 20 points. Danilovic off hands, and another point for the freshman, her first kill. North Carolina's Haley Pierce kind of cheating, trying to cheat on that block coverage. You got to stay back in your defensive position.
Danilovic was a star against NC State, had 10 kills, right? Because Heredia Cologne gets 30 every match. But any bit of complimentary scoring is so important. That did not touch hands. Hitting error here for the Tar Heels. Keno Gandara's unit. This big win would be crucial in securing a top 16 national seed. Right now, North Carolina's defense has held them in check, and then the offense gets rolling. There's Lainey Smith on the right.
Lainey Smith packs a punch, a nice approach, swinging right through that split. That middle blocker late for Miami leaves a big gap for Smith to take advantage. And
Smith was the all-star in that sweep in Coral Gables. She hit 700. If there was any offense, it was from the right in the first meeting. Some struggle on serve. Miami just bumps it over. Back row. Feliciano scoops it. Heredia Cologne is roofed, and this Tar Heel defense coming to play early.
Jackie Taylor and Lainey Smith on that pin. They are tracking Heredia Cologne. A little predictable here, as obviously they feed her, but North Carolina doing a nice job of not only being there, but pressing those hands down.
Fourth block for the Tar Heels in set one. That was not on my bingo card. Good hands from Hampton in the back. And Pierce goes down line. That's out of play, and we'll take the timeout. All North Carolina here early in the first set. Top 25 matchups lived up to it here in Chapel
Hill. You told her when she grew up, she could be anything she wanted. That she was going to do hard things.
You got this.
And be a part of something big. You told her she wasn't going to just see the world.
What is that?
She was going to help change it. You told her she could. So she will.
Oh no. Rated PG-13, only in theaters Friday.
Another Saturday with Saban.
Hey, Coach. Great W technique.
It's a process to win, and winning is a process.
And one coat for the win.
That's how I roll.
Good one, Coach.
Get one coat Hide in over 1,000 colors with Behr Marquee, only at the Home Depot.
No weak spots in my coverage.
Early for North Carolina, and you look nationally, this ACC has solidified itself as one of the best conferences. Now the top 6 are all ranked nationally, but Amanda, come hosting position, 4 seems secure. Now it's a battle who can earn that 5th hosting spot. Yeah, and a lot to play for in the last week of regular season play. A lot of these teams right here, the top 5 all playing today as well. Not too much on the line for some of those top teams as far as getting into the tournament, but the seeding as well. But we talked about it, Miami, North Carolina, a lot to prove to the committee right now, especially for the Tar Heels. Pitt beat Louisville this week, and there's some more matchups with Stanford and Louisville tonight. I love how the ACC is scheduled best on best to end the year. There's a service ace for the Tar Heels. It's kind of hard to avoid in the ACC, though, these really, really awesome matchups, because there's so many tough teams in this conference. Well, think of Louisville. Their lone losses are in 5 setters. They have 5 losses, all to top 10 teams. This league has immense depth. And 8 teams can make the tournament this year, with Florida State and Georgia Tech looming. Great effort on the back row. Heredia Cologne goes inside and misses. That's 5 hitting errors for one of the best players in the country. An uncharacteristic first set for Miami offensively in the negative hit percentage. Heredia Cologne is blocked again. Wow, Lainey Smith's having a field day on the outside. A little too predictable now for Miami. North Carolina knew what to expect. Now it's time for the Hurricanes to mix up that offense. Remember, Floor had 23 kills when these teams met last weekend. She was all gas, no brakes. Wow, off the noggin of Kaza and then kept alive. Rodriguez back to her. There's Heredia Cologne. Good response.
And that's, right after a North Carolina scramble play, you're not in your defensive positions, you're not ready to reload, and Heredia Cologne taking full advantage of that.
There's Dolly Wilson, Kansas State transfer. Tricky serve. Now the Tar Heels in system through Kaza. Pierce had to play that. Good hands. So Rodriguez, as the setter, can get up and press.
She can cause blockers some problems, especially as a setter. When she plays front row, you have to keep track of her. She can get up there. She's got great hands at the net being a setter, but also that size advantage.
There aren't too many setters with 65 blocks on the year. Such a versatile weapon that allows Keno to run the 5-1. Tip drill. That's kept up and punched over. Now Pierce off the double. Here's Floor. Wow, Floor tools it. 3 straight for Miami.
Heredia Cologne sizing up Lainey Smith, just one-on-one, just wipes it off that right hand, right through Lainey Smith.
Yeah, Smith had the 3 impressive blocks early. Heredia Cologne looks ready to pounce late in set 1. Right back to Smith. Quality touch, and the Tar Heels snap the scoring run. Here's Zoe Barrett on the service line. This is why Floor Marie leads the country in kills per set. It is nonstop attack, her 5th.
And it's also her in-game, in-match adjustments, right? Being able to size up this block, figuring out how to use that upper part of the block to your advantage. She's got such a high vertical, high reach. She's able to get it over that block.
Semifinals for National Player of the Year. That'll be a fun vote coming up in November. Pierce off hands. That's a tough play at the net. Unable to scoop it was Logan Wiley, and it's point North Carolina. Pierce serving 5 points from the set, gives it right back to Miami. And one thing with this Hurricane squad, the 1 5-set loss to Cal, but otherwise they have not tripped up against an opponent they should beat type thing. Very resilient. They have multiple sweeps. You look at the RPI numbers, putting them in a great position to host. Tough return from May. And that's an illegal back row attack against the Tar Heels. Point Miami.
Now, this is what Miami does so well. This is that really aggressive serve, gets their defense ready for a poor attack from their opponent after dealing with that aggressive serve. They get quick points. They can go on runs with Heredia Cologne back there.
That'll be the challenge for May and Julia Bollinger in the back row. Can they return this rifle of a serve? Good luck. There's an ace. Heredia Cologne has clocked at 45 miles an hour in practice. That is a freight train coming home. Timeout, North Carolina.
I'm pretty sure I would be just, you'd have to peel me off the ground after that one. I would just take that one.
Want to represent your Tar Heels all season.
We'll stay here during the timeout because Miami is putting together a really unique resume. Last year, they were not a host and made it to the second round, but Miami's never hosted in program history. Here's how it kind of situates nationally. 1, 25 wins, puts you in a steam category. But 2, the ranked wins important. The home win over Pitt in 5 sets. You look at Miami, they're doing things right. Winning late, finding ways to win. A ranked win today would certainly help.
And like you had mentioned before, they're winning the games that they're supposed to win, right? They're stepping up to that challenge, being able to not peak too early or peak too late. They've been finding that consistent success. Obviously, today, a challenge against a North Carolina team that has a lot to prove to the committee today, but this Miami team finding that consistency.
And 3 straight sweeps as well. Miami's taking care of business quickly. Tar Heels, meanwhile, if you talked 2 weeks ago, you'd say, hey, this team's a for sure host. Down the stretch, they've struggled with Miami and Stanford, but resume-wise, there's some quality wins for Mike Shaw's club.
Yeah, we talked about it, 1-4 against ranked opponents in conference play. Now an opportunity to try to add a top 15 win to your resume before that selection show. But they've had some tough matches in there. Look at that number 4 Pitt, that 5-setter. Coach Shaw knows what this team is capable of. It's just a matter of putting all the pieces together.
That top 6 all being ranked this year. 6 for sure bids. I think Florida State, Georgia Tech could be a tricky conversation for the committee tomorrow afternoon. Now it's about who's going to be seated where. You look at coming in. Miami's never hosted. They have a great chance to do it. And if you're North Carolina, you want to avoid playing that #1 national seed early in the tournament. That's where an 8 would go right away. So here's Freddie Colon riding a 3-point streak. That might have been a double. Play continues, and Colon hits into the net. And our lead referee saying no double touch. Wade Brents. Bonnie O'Connor checking.
Three Miami coaches on their feet for this one. Kenna leading the charge.
Under last year's rules of a double touch, that'd be more clear. This year, there's more interpretation of what is considered a double. Both teams being escorted back from the official scores table. So technically, that's not a challengeable call. It would have to be a referee-initiated review. Each coach gets 2 challenges. If the match goes 5, they get a bonus. But Keno clearly frustrated. You understand his point. That it was an interesting angle of how that set came off. So now they are going to review this.
Miami is challenging that there was a net on UNC.
Okay, so they can't challenge the double, but they can challenge the net touch, which in effect creates the thing you're looking for, which is evaluation of that last play.
I think Coach Shaw was a little bit upset about that.
And Keno is staring right at Wade Brents. He is frustrated. It is unique there. So we'll give you a couple angles. Keep in mind, it has to be a net touch would be the issue. The ball hits the net, and based on that angle,
I don't see any North Carolina players in the net.
Now this is great because the players now looking up at the video board and they're watching the replay and saying, well, now I understand what happened.
And Miami loses their challenge.
That is one of the nuances of the sport that gets tricky, right? You can't challenge the double, but you can challenge interference with the net. And there was no net touch there, so the point remains UNC. Keno still pleading his case to Bonnie O'Connor.
Some type of explanation.
Now a yellow card, that's a warning. Think in terms of soccer, a second card for a delay, you earn a point. The first card is more of a warning situation. And now Miami has called timeout. There's a lot happening here in the last couple of points of the first set. from a Tar Heel standpoint, we know to Miami and their hosting capabilities, but from North Carolina's conversation, it's now what seed can we get and how can we build off a quality ranked win. We know to the SMU victory earlier this year, but this match could tell a lot about whether you're in the 8-9 conversation or in a better seed to not be in that 49 RPI spot.
Right, and you look at what the committee wants to see. They want to see you be competitive. They want to see you be able to take down big teams. And we talked about that 1-4 against ACC ranked opponents, being able to compete with the best in the league. That's something North Carolina has a chance to showcase today, and they've started off strong against Miami.
And that's where the loss at Florida State last week complicates things, right? If you take that match out, you're in the 30s RPI-wise, and then the hosting may be more in play. But a top 20 RPI win, that'll for sure get you into the tournament, though. And
that's what's so interesting, right? You focus on you think you should focus on the wins, but those losses can be just as damaging.
That's where we sit with just a day left before the selection committee. And this UNC blocking, Amanda, they've told the story in set 1.
We talked about it. They average about 3 blocks per set. They have doubled that average, 6 blocks here in set 1. They have tracked down Heredia Cologne. Obviously, they're going to feed. Miami's going to feed Flora this ball, but UNC has been ready for it, largely thanks to Lainey Smith and Jackie Taylor. Taylor with 5, Smith with 2 blocks. And look at this, one of just 2 ACC teams with 3 players over 100 blocks.
Oh, it's the strength of the Tar Heels, no doubt. Their defense and great offense, great defense. So far, it's been the blocking. It's made a huge impact. I mean, 6 of 21 points. That's a third of your offense is slowing down Miami. Beautiful serve that time. And Danilovic is tipped. Heredia Cologne off hands and kept alive. Hampton. Point, North Carolina.
First kill for Sophie Hampton. Comes up big, right? You have that awkward kind of challenge call. It takes a lot of time away from the momentum of set 1, then the timeout, but North Carolina comes out with the kill.
Rodriguez back set. That's out of play. So UNC 2 points from the set on the hitting error from Vergara.
Talk about a tale of 2 different starts to matches compared to last Sunday, right? Miami did such a great job of forcing mistakes out of North Carolina. Now it's just the opposite. Miami hitting in the negatives.
Critical 3-point scoring run here late. Heredia Cologne is tipped. That stays in play. Shutter is kept alive by Rodriguez. And now a free ball. No touch. Actually, there was a touch. Head referee overruled. Miami gets the point there. Yeah, Heredia Cologne's like, oh, there was absolutely a touch.
A lot of frustration for Miami right now. Obviously, trailing doesn't help, but when Heredia Cologne comes up, attacks, watches that ball touch North Carolina fingertips, she wants that point.
And Amanda, that's the 25th swing for Flora in this first set. She is putting on a workman's-like load today. And I thought you rest on holiday weekends. Hampton off hands, and there's back-to-back points. Good block from Wilson combining with Vergara.
It's 6-2 and 6-2 right there, building a wall. That's going to help Miami a lot if they want to try to string some points together here late in set 1.
Only the first block for the Hurricanes today. UNC, you see it, 6 blocks so far. Maddie May struggling on serve. Thorpe off the court, saves it. Wow, Wilson in system. 3-point difference.
This is necessary for the Hurricanes right now. Opening up that middle option, that quick tempo set, only allowed when you're in system here. Nice time set from Rodriguez to get to Wilson. A nice shot selection from Wilson, just avoiding Shutter.
Yeah, Dahlia's been that secondary scoring today. She's got 3+ points. Obviously, Heredia Cologne gets so much attention, right, when you're averaging 6 kills a set. But for Miami to do well late in December, they need secondary pieces to produce.
Yeah, and Wilson's someone that Coach Keno has talked about a lot, saying that they've moved around in different pieces, but she's been really amazing to coach. Her technical level is really, really good. High volleyball IQ, and she has a lot of attention and confidence that goes with that.
Yeah, battle of really good middles today. Wilson has scored a bunch. We've noted Shutter's blocking, and in the league where And obviously Louisville's got some elite middles as well, right, with Cressy defensively. But any other players that can complement your pin hitters so well, this time of year, the margins are that small.
Yeah, and I think when it gets to that tournament time, you're going to see the teams with the most depth and the most balance are going to be able to survive more. Obviously, you can go on runs. You can be aggressive from the service line, and you have the big blocks. But when you have depth like that, where you can really get a defense on their toes, it's going to be an added bonus in the tournament.
No lack of drama in this first set. Miami took care of business down in Coral Gables, but a little different story here in Chapel Hill today.
I feel like we're already in like the third set. Like that's the intensity that we've already felt here in set one.
This is the appetizer to next week's tournament opener. We'll call it a round of 16 matchup, but we get the treat of the regular season. Feliciano on serve. Miami 3 straight points. Hampton's dug out. Here's Danilovic. Plays it short. And that's a double touch. Set point now. Miami wants a timeout. And Coach Keno Gandara gets it granted. Yeah, these double touch rules from a setter standpoint have changed, but from an offensive player, if it goes over the net, it can't sit in the pocket. Basically, you can't hold on to the ball, and that's what happened there to Danilovic on the outside.
Right, and I'm glad they changed it, right? Because when you're setting your teammate, it really shouldn't matter how pretty that ball looks, but when you're trying to go get a point, you want to make sure your set is clean. Looking for that spin, right? Just touches one hand for too long. For me, I think she should have just attacked that one. She's had a lot of success with her arm.
That leads to 12 hitting errors. You don't see a Miami match where half the points in a set are just given away with mistakes.
Big credit to North Carolina's defense. Obviously, that block makes it hard to attack, but these little mental mistakes you feel like, too, are adding up.
So North Carolina 1 point from set 1. More importantly, you look at how these teams are trying to end the season, right? Make that statement for the tournament. Miami, they've won 9 of 10. They would all but secure a top 16 seed with a win today. A loss, and then you get in that long conversation. It gets complicated. For North Carolina, all of a sudden, from an RPI standpoint, a win lets you take a big, deep breath on Selection Sunday.
Yeah, which is tomorrow, right? There's a lot to play for right now that all matters for tomorrow. The selection committee has a lot to figure out. We talked about some of the games, some of the matches that are happening this afternoon with top 5 teams in the ACC competing.
It's frigid outside, but it's in fuego here in Carmichael. The road to Kansas City gets a little interesting here in set 1. Heredia Cologne out of bounds, and North Carolina takes set 1 here at home. This defense of the Tar Heels making us. Let's see how Miami responds out of the timeout, and the Hurricanes serve first. The swing for Haley Pierce. Heredia Cologne. Well, impact start here in set 2.
Heredia Cologne gonna have to get creative, gonna have to be smart with that shot selection, going up against the block, trying to find that split. Any weak spot in that North Carolina block is gonna be what she's looking for.
Best offensive team in the league, best defensive team in the ACC. And a hitting error here, but there is a touch at the net. North Carolina gets the point.
Laney Smith called that one. She's like, I saw it.
It was the R2 Bonnie O'Connor who picked up on that signal. Maddie May on her senior day. One must be a fan of Candy because she's got the sign. 2 Shankers, a solid defense for the Tar Heels. I'm more of a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup guy myself, but I like M&M's. There's a kill for UNC.
Haley Pierce going right down the line.
Although the chocolate M&M's, the inside out, it's pretty good too.
I like the peanut M&M's. Those are my favorite. Nice crunch, sweet and salty.
That'll make the turkey taste good. A little peanut on top. Carolina playing in system. An impressive first set for Lainey Smith, the Durham native. And a touch at the net. Heredia Cologne, 2 early kills.
Again, just using that block to her advantage this time. Instead of getting stuffed, she's working across those top fingertips.
Yeah, in the first set, she tried power, right? Through the arms, got stuffed multiple times. The adjustment. This is why players are so good at this level. Dahlia Wilson. Haley Pierce. Dug up. There's the rip. Heredia Cologne, 3 swings, 3 kills.
These in-match adjustments, such a veteran doing this, right? Just reading what the defense is giving a little late on that North Carolina block.
Yeah, there's no confidence lost after being blocked 5 times in the first set. A lot of tips from UNC here in set 2. No tips there. A shoulder blast from Heredia Cologne. Kaza tried her best, but she was on the receiving end of a fastball.
North Carolina's going to need to do something quick because Heredia Cologne is just heating up right now. And it's infectious, right? It's just going to bleed throughout this Miami team, building that confidence back up.
There's an ace, adding to the run. 5 straight points. All the emotion, all the energy of that first set, you can tell Miami's channeled it, and they came out ready to go. A long dispute on a double touch that went North Carolina's way. Good effort here to save it from Hampton. Soft touch, and that hits the floor. Timeout immediately for Mike Shaw, and we'll step aside. Miami ready to play here in set 2. Trying to even this match at 1 set apiece.
Imagine a place where each one of us can leave a heel print on the world around us. Where the success of the team starts with you. That's Carolina. Imagine your heel print.
In the wild, everything is always in front of you. Sauvage Elixir, Dior.
What's his deal? He got that more for your money feeling at Metro with 1 line of unlimited 5G for just $40, period. And a free 5G phone and no activation fees. Only at Metro.
He's responded. 4 kills. You look at that. What a stark difference. All the hitting errors in set 1, and she's been locked in set 2.
There is a lot put on her plate, but she embraces it, right? Struggled in set 1 against this big block, but now she's using this wall to her advantage. Off the high hands, off the fingertips, tooling, tipping. She's got such a high approach that she has that athleticism to get around at that block, and determination. I think mentally, it's pretty important for her to be able to come out strong. After a really slow start, that was her season low in hit percentage in a set. Things have changed quickly here in Chapel Hill. Able to tip that shot from Lainey Smith. Lainey, good touchdown for the score. That snaps a 5-point run. But North Carolina has gotten creative with their attacks. We're seeing a lot more tips for kill on the Tar Heels side of things.
And those 4 kills, that's a team best, right? So the balance, it's multiple players with 2+ kills. Rodriguez, nice little save there at the net. Barrett goes outside. Thorpe again. Through the double. And that energy so infectious from 77.
It's not only like the vocal energy, right, of yelling, but I love the flex, right? She's just hyping her teammates up, has that power, feeling that confidence, and that can only help build your team up as you are battling with a top 15 team right now.
Thorpe nearly 3 kills to 7. She's locked in. This offense has a lot of balance. Good response in the middle. Logan Wiley with the roof, the Alpharetta, Georgia native. She had 4 blocks when these teams met over the weekend, so her presence can be so big. I love the portal battle, too. Former Georgia Tech player versus former Virginia Tech player. Now they're leveling up to top 25 teams. Maybe the coaches don't love that in Myrtle Beach during the spring meetings, but it has upped the level of this conference now with 6 ranked programs.
Yeah, you get a lot more parity when you can spread the wealth, right? Have different strengths all over the ACC.
Miami with the win, all but secures that hosting position. North Carolina would all but lock themselves in the tournament with a win today. Here's Thorpe again. Feliciano covers a lot of ground for the Hurricanes. Hampton, back corner, that's a nice shot from Carolina's leader in kills.
Hampton with a great shot going deep in zone 5, targeting that corner. That's a great slice, cross-court cut. Nice job by Safi Hampton.
Pierce off the tape. Heredia Cologne roofed, and there goes Hampton running laps with that block.
Like, where's she going? She needs to burn off that energy, right? Get 2 pump from the big block. It's got to be a feather in your hat when you can shut down one of the nation's best attackers.
7th block for this UNC defense. They came in 2nd in the league. They're really good at the net. I think there's something about blocking an All-American, too, that just gets you going. That block stays in play. Heredia Cologne misses wide. Well, that's uncharacteristic. 11 hitting errors for Florida.
She's being challenged right now, right? She's got to get creative around that block, and that's forcing some errors. Even just the presence of North Carolina's blocks is helping.
A stark contrast from last weekend where Florida hit 350 in a 3-set win. Maddie May to the floor. Hampton tooled by Flora. There she is. Good presence in the net.
Like how we talk about Flora, like, yeah, she's really struggling. 11 kills, 2 aces, a block now. She still is able to add so much to this team despite not having that efficiency right now.
Watch out below. Oh, that's out and very close to the tape.
Very close.
We're right on that line from where we sit up here. That might have been in.
It touches any part of that line, it's in.
Yeah, there's Keno looking at the quick DVR sport. Oh. You know, there's only one challenge left for Miami, but that is interesting.
That is very tough.
Well, the volleyball gods caught up to us. There's a service error, giving it right back. And Keno's still looking at the DVR sport like, well, let me check in on that. Okay, there's the replay. Was I right? Yeah, he said, no, that was in. He saw the replay on the DVR sport. That's good stuff. Nice kill for Safi Hampton on the outside.
Oh, my goodness. She was levitating. I feel like her whole body was just above the net. Look at this approach. Just completely elevates, gets that high approach. Doesn't matter what's in front of her. She's just swinging through that.
It's like Avatar 1 where they're teaching the characters how to climb the trees and like embrace their inner well.
That was crazy.
Yeah, Hampton's got some hops. Wilson's dug out. Heredia Cologne misses long. She wanted hands. Ball out of play, 2-point lead.
Rodriguez and Heredia Cologne have had a great connection when it comes to that back row quick set, because you don't want the blockers to have enough time to get in front of her, and that's a great approach. That's the shot you want.
I think she hit the field goal but missed hands there. This is a rare day filled with hitting errors for Heredia Cologne. That block goes out of play, and the point right back for Miami. This is one thing with the Hurricanes. They do not get phased by a tough point.
We saw that in set 1, too, just after those big challenge calls, too, just trying to play through it. They played in so many big moments this season. Trying to learn from all those experiences to bring into the final regular season match.
They just put a towel over the DV Sport, so now neither coach can look at the quick replays. The defense, Feliciano. Here's Hampton into a big block. Dahlia Wilson, a nice response.
All right, I gotta say this was sponsored by the libero. Miami keeping that rally alive with a beautiful save on that coverage to be able to cap off with the block for Miami. Talk about this Miami team. Bottom out of all NCAA teams in digs per set. It's because they haven't needed it, but they do have it in Feliciano. She can be there.
Some rare long rallies today. Really good point. Feliciano keeps that alive. Rodriguez the tip. Ariana punches one. And Danilovic a little off balance, out of play. One of the rare scramble plays that Miami's had offensively. Yeah, the only player that's been in the positives hitting today is Dahlia Wilson. Everyone else struggling for Miami. Yeah, Wilson just keeps doing her thing. 5th kill for Dahlia.
I really like that connection between Rodriguez and Dahlia right now, being able to have that quick tempo set. And Rodriguez, she can stack up kills. We haven't seen that attack so far right now when she's in the front row being that aggressive setter, but that's credit to North Carolina trying to keep that wall up.
Back row. Oh, Hampton showing off her back row attack. The Bic is in play here in Carmichael.
We talked about that power from the outside from Hampton, but now she's getting a running start from back row. What a vertical, what a power play for Hampton.
The freak athletes in this matchup are so fun to watch. Wilson keeps doing her thing on the slide. There's her 5th kill officially. Hot start for the middle.
Great decision making by Rodriguez. You got to spread the love, right? Heredia Cologne struggling against the block, inefficient a little bit. Give it to Wilson. She's having success right now.
That's how hard it's been to score today. Look at these hit percentages, well below their average for both teams. Oh my goodness, Jackie Taylor rising and firing.
Jackie Taylor's first kill of the afternoon, a pretty one.
Playing her hometown team, the Miami product. Getting after it with a nice swing.
Yeah, her mom played soccer for Miami. Interesting connection.
Her dad was on a BCS championship team down for the Hurricanes. A lot of history. There's some modern history. Flor Marie unloading with her 12th.
Heredia Cologne, she can get up to right there, just slicing that cross-court connection. So much skill in her shot selection. A lot of tools in that tool belt. Bringing one out for the kill here.
But that's the key number.
Yep.
0 hit percentage. If you're North Carolina, you live with those big kill numbers. Haley Pierce from the right. A little traffic in the back row, and North Carolina the first to 15.
It's been so balanced for North Carolina right now. Everybody's kind of getting in on the action right. Pierce now leading with 5 kills for North Carolina, and it's come in so many different ways. But you got 5 players, with at least 3 kills.
This was the exact opposite of what happened on Saturday down in Coral Gables. Hampton off the double. There's the blocking of Miami. 6th block for the Hurricanes.
That's a tight set right there. Hampton not a lot to work with as that block was ready to meet her.
You hear the oohs and the ahs of the serve of Flor Marie, who also can dig it out. Danilovic on the touch. Here's Thorpe. Out of bounds. Miami now a lead late in set 2. That dig by Flor Marie, though. Eye-popping. Thorpe shot it, thought she had a fastball right by her and kept it in play. May absorbs the serve. Well, Feliciano to the floor. Almost a double. Hampton pulls the block.
North Carolina doing a nice job of getting out of that rotation against Heredia Cologne's serve. Maddie May, 2 dime passes to push them to win that.
Every point feels like a huge end of set type of rally. Both teams give it big energy. Floor just punches one over. Hampton in the middle. Heredia Cologne off hands and another block for Shutter.
Scramble play by Miami to try to extend this rally. Heredia Cologne just sticking an arm out like a sideways serve to get this ball over, but it's North Carolina that caps it off with the Lauren Shutter block.
Yeah, this Tar Heel block's been a story, 8 of them so far. That time 2 in the block. Vergara gets a point back. And with Amina Njai still out of the lineup, Vergara, these complimentary Danilovic need to score some big points today. That's the question for Miami. Where's the secondary scoring going to come from? That stays in play. Good secondary swing. Vergara on the board. Options for Barrett. Hampton 1v1. That's a tough matchup defensively.
You like to see that from Hampton if you're a North Carolina fan. Gets targeted on the serve, handles the pass beautifully, and then in transition slices down the line.
Hampton nearing 800 career kills in her tenure. A lot of experience on the outside.
Coach Shaw saying about Hampton earlier this season said that she's one of the most creative players that he's ever coached with her shot selection, the way she sees the court, sees the play, and responds. And you can see that on display today.
Shutter in the middle is tipped. You know, Rodriguez isn't just a great setter. She's physical at the net.
Defensive-minded as well, very aggressive on both sides. 6 digs, 3 blocks for Rodriguez.
The 3-time setter of the week in the ACC can really get it done. By the way, it's 3 of the last 4 weeks, too. She's playing great volleyball here late.
It's when you want to.
Hampton keeps it in. Wow, Safi Hampton, big swings in set 2.
Hampton has really stepped into the spotlight this season compared to last, right? And that's something that we talked to Coach Shaw about this season and how is she handling that pressure. And Coach Shaw says she loves the spotlight. She's embracing it, likes the attention, likes to be able to make things happen for her team.
Another 20-plus win year for North Carolina, back-to-back impressive campaigns. But here they sit, last day of the season. A signature win would help the resume big time. May. There's a point on the outside for Laney Smith. Oh, and Feliciano took a tough collision into the sideboard there. She gets back up.
She's been all over the place trying to have coverage on these blockers. 10 digs, already double-digit dig figures for Feliciano.
Fills some huge shoes of Yai Rosado, one of the better DSs in the country last year. But Feliciano doing her part. Wilson on the slide. 1 point Miami lead.
Just a pretty.
Thanks for popping in with us on the ESPN app. One app, one tap. Flor Marie Heredia Cologne gets hands at the net. 15 kills now for Flor, but it's been a heavy workload today.
Something she is used to, right? They put a lot on her plate because she can handle it. That workload, she is used to taking a lot of swings. But I like that quick tempo set from Rodriguez. They need a fast-paced offense to confuse those North Carolina blockers.
Another ace for Dahlia Wilson. So in set 2, Miami responded well. They were up 6-2 early, and then to North Carolina's credit, they came right back offensively to really take control of that set.
It wasn't the cleanest offensive set for North Carolina either, but they battled back defensively, extending those rallies.
Offense runs through Zoe Barrett in this rotation. Already Cologne. Never hit hands, but hits the tape and stays in. Thorpe, she came flying in from the 10-foot line. Nice point.
Miami didn't know if it was going to be Hampton coming to fly from the back row, but that time it was Chelsea Thorpe. She sets up her own set here, too. Getting that ball right back to slice through the block.
Well, I just saw a sign called Torpedo incoming. So a clever play on words there. Thorpe's energy at the net has been huge today. That time, Torpedo missed her target out of bounds. You know, in Battlefield, right? You're trying to sink the opposing ship. You hit B2, and you think, was it B1 or B3? She just went a little right that time. It's not all TikTok. We have time for board games, too, here on ACC Network Extra. Goes out of play, and a quick 4-1 start for Miami here in the third set.
Miami getting that point, but I've been so impressed with Maddie May's ability to handle Rodriguez's serve. We know they've been practicing that top spin serve, handling, absorbing that power, getting your base set.
Pittsburgh in total control of Georgia Tech right now, leading 2 sets and winning the third set big time. That'll put the Yellow Jackets in danger. No problem here in the middle for Logan Wiley. The Georgia Tech transfer herself. But hold on a second here. Mike Shaw's issued a challenge, his first.
UNC is challenging that there was a net.
That's what Bonnie's going to check here in just a moment.
This North Carolina challenge is brought to you by.
That would have been on the previous touch, not the play at the net. So we have to piece all the angles together. If anything, it's a mini timeout for UNC to reset things.
This is exactly how set 2 started, right? Miami had that strong lead to start out, and North Carolina was able to battle back.
The tricky part is the ball touches the tape. So does that arm ever hit the net as well?
There's another angle. I'm trying to see. I just see the ball touching that top of the tape.
Remember, the call in the court was it was a clean kill. And that arm contusion to like move her arm and then pull it back, that's just looks painful. The fun part is we have a lot of angles.
Yeah, we've got all the angles for you right here. Oh, this is a good look. Yeah, look at that body control.
Oh, I don't see a net touch there.
Wiley being able to tuck that left arm in and then bring that right arm back after she swings.
Middle blocking coach Leandro Vasoto, the associate, so involved with this Miami attack. He played
the call is confirmed. There was no net. UNC loses a challenge.
So as Bonnie O'Connor notes, it's a 5-1 lead for Miami. And now Keno's going to ask, hey, can we pull the towel down on the screen to make sure no one's looking at the replays? That's been
He's like, because I was when I was over there.
Hey, if it's an open book test, I'm going to look at the book. I'm not following the rules. I know these are 2 high academic institutions, but when there's options, you got to take them. Rodriguez to serve. That's been a strength of Miami this year. Ariana's and her acing ability, not as much of that today.
Leads the nation, and she hasn't had an ace yet today. Again, I have been very impressed with the serve receive for North Carolina, something they've clearly prepared themselves for.
Gave up 10 service aces in Coral Gables, so nice adjustment. May keeps it alive. Vergara forces a tough decision for Maddie May. That was right on the edge of staying in or out. Point Hurricanes.
This is going to be so important for Miami to have other weapons, especially depth on that outside. Vergara coming up big with the kill. Number 6 today.
Colombian product, Miami-Dade, then Youngstown State, Tennessee State, kind of bounced around the country, found her home here in year 5. Another service error for the Hurricane. This is uncharacteristic. 5 of those today.
And they do serve really aggressive, so the errors come, but normally they add a couple aces before they come up with that error.
Is blocked in play. Hampton, another aggressive tip for the Tar Heels.
And that might have been a coverage opportunity for Rodriguez, but she was on the move after that tough pass coming from the freshman. North Carolina targeting that freshman and Danilovic.
Well, we're speaking service errors the whole set. It's fitting both teams are kind of trading those. SMU and NC State, a set apiece in the 3rd. Mustangs don't want to afford a tough loss down the stretch with their hosting resume. Sam Erger's done a great job down there.
Yeah, they battled some injuries this season as well.
Fresh off a round of 16 appearance last year. This blocking is the big story. Shutter again with a roof.
Shutter now with 4 blocks. I love her reaction after this block. Gets up there, shuts down the play, and looks back, throws a arms like, yep, that's just what I do.
I hope that's on TikTok tonight.
There's a lot of plays that could be on TikTok tonight.
And our producer had a fun one. She said she shut her down. Lauren George all over it with the puns today. Dahlia Wilson beats the block. She said, hey, take that one. It's 8-5 now, Miami.
That's what it's been now in these past 2 sets, just shot for shot.
Really rises up, and that beats the front line of Rodriguez.
Hampton just, her hang time, it allows her to be able to not have to handle the whole block. She kind of sees that block after they're on their way down.
Hampton now leads the Tar Heels in points. It was a slow first set, but she's come to life here recently. Haley Pierce was a big weapon in set 1. Middle slide play that goes out of bounds. You don't see that a ton in college volleyball, but Wilson misses wide. This has been the pressure the Tar Heels have forced at Miami. Rodriguez, the power dump. That's well done by the veteran.
I've been waiting for Rodriguez to get more aggressive at the net. Obviously, that North Carolina block slowing her down, but a nice opportunity like that on an overpass, being able to push that one over. So much athleticism and strength with her force.
Feliciano to the floor. Krause goes back row. Hampton unloads. Heredia Colon does the same off hands, and Hampton tips it. Another effort out of bounds. And a scrappy point on both ends.
Feliciano with an amazing dig. She had to try to control the power from North Carolina, but the Tar Heels trying to have that hustle play, the scramble play. Just can't get into position.
You saw Mather try to hit the brakes, and then her feet came out from her, which created the wild back row play. May calling for it. The senior in her final home match, as that ball goes out of bounds. Hitting error for Laney Smith, and a timeout for North Carolina. We'll take this timeout. Miami showing signs of life in set 3. We'll be right back after
this. Introducing Shake Shack's Big Shack. We took something that sounds familiar and made it different. Hit it, Gary. 2 all-beef quarter-pound, 100% humanely raised and grazed Angus patties, made to order, secret sauce. Vibrant, hand-harvested green, whoops, go back, green leaf lettuce, American cheese, I guess from America. Thick cut dough pickles, hand-sliced white onions on a buttered and toasted potato bun. Woo, the Big Shack. Oh, and Roma tomatoes.
Black Friday savings are at the Home Depot, the best place for tools. Tools to take your doing anywhere. Job after job, weekend after weekend.
Get a free tool with select battery kits.
Stock your workshop with top brand tools this Black.
At the Farmer's Dog, our fresh food plans keep dogs moving and shaking. Get 50% off your first box, only at thefarmersdog.com.
To Chapel Hill. So Carolina has a 2-set lead. Big reason why. Flor-Marie Heredia-Colon, who's an ABCA National Player of the Year candidate. While the kill numbers are high, it's been a tough day at the net.
Yeah, credit to North Carolina's block, right? Forcing Heredia-Colon to take some awkward shots, really challenged her at the net. But she is a senior. She is a veteran. She's handled a lot of this type of stuff, and that's why she, hit in the negatives earlier. Now she's even down at zeros across the board, but she's starting to get hot.
50 swings against North Carolina Sunday, but had 23 kills, just to give you some perspective on what's changed. Pierce off the block. The UNC defense has stifled Flor until that shot. There's Heredia-Colon. Says one in the positive, please.
That block just sliding too far over, giving Flor just way too much space to take that inside cut right in front of the defenders.
This has helped Miami build a 5-point lead here in set 3. Good job sneaking through the block for Lainey Smith. Big part of Smith's decision to come back to the triangle, right, to transfer back in, was to play big matches in December. She'll have a great opportunity here next week.
Yeah, it's awesome. Coach Shaw talked about, it feels like we've watched her grow up as a player. She was a part of that triangle volleyball club that a lot of these players have been a part of. So coming from Illinois, but coming back home to Durham.
There's triangle volleyball players all over the ACC this year. There's 12 of them playing at the high level. It's a great club locally. And a hitting error here for North Carolina.
Coach Shaw coached for 7 years with the Triangle Volleyball Club, so he's seen a lot of that talent now too, so he knows more than just who's on his team, but has that advantage as well.
Maddie May, a big part of that as well, right? The senior who's seen Mike Shaw in so many different roles. Any touch here? No. Hitting error. Miami nearing the 15-point mark.
Well, and one of the players for Coach Shaw, and Aaron Curtis, the sophomore outside, her dad co-founded the Triangle Volleyball Club. So there's just like so many connections with North Carolina in that club that just breeds so much talent.
The Secret Santa gifts must be fantastic with all the inner volleyball players around the area. North Carolina gets one back. And Zoe Barrett will come back in to serve. She celebrated her birthday back on October 19th, just over a month ago. I was covering Cal and Duke yesterday. They had 7 November birthdays.
Oh, wow.
Coach said she'd never had a team with that many kids all born like during the season.
Did they have just one mega party?
Well, that's what she said. She's like, we can't just have like 7 different, we're gonna have one big November birthday thing. And they all came together and celebrated.
I love that.
Here's Rodriguez on service. Nation's leader and ace is held in check today. That block goes out of play, so North Carolina gets one back.
And normally that's when Miami goes on those big runs. It's when they have Rodriguez back at that service line. North Carolina containing that topspin.
Only one match this year, more errors than aces for Miami. They've been so good at servicing. Good block this time, and the UNC front row is taking over this match.
Chelsea Thorpe, she acts like every point that she helps get is match point. Look at that celebration. A nice block from Thorpe. Turns around and puts that seatbelt on.
Flor off the noggin of Taylor. And Heredia-Colon now nearing 18 kills. This might take a 40-plus kind of night for Heredia-Colon if Miami's going to reverse sweep Carolina. powerful swings on both ends, and it's cleared. Hampton into floor. And that hits the net, so point North Carolina. And every time I look, that floor's getting clean. This Terraflex, everyone's diving today. Towels, managers, everywhere.
And I feel like every dig has been like a one-handed dig as well. Just players just stretching out.
A nice little preview for next week's first and second rounds. Haven't said Danilovich's name much, and she's blocked again. Shutter and company in the front row.
It's going to be hard to get around Thorpe and Shutter there, closing at big wall, elite blockers, something they have done well all season long. Now Shutter on the move, just barely gets that touch on her. Players hyping each other up. I love it.
I need Thorpe to help me through semester finals, right? That's coming up here in a week or so. Having those teammates so big this time of year. Well, here's Amina Njai, who hasn't played in 3 weeks. There's a big swing for the Orlando, Florida product.
Yeah, she last played November 16th at Louisville. She's been really big for them this season. It's nice to have that depth on the outside.
Kind of shows the desperation here. Miami trying to find different arms that can score. So Njai comes in. Njai with a roof. Welcome back to the lineup.
Njai has learned so much from Heredia Cologne. They work hand in hand together. That's something Coach Keno talks about. They learn a lot from each other. Her ability to come in there as a freshman after not playing since the 16th. Big play for Njai.
Well, that's huge. Another arm to complement Florida here in this third set. There's a reason Miami has rarely been swept this year. So much resolve at the net. And their loss to Stanford in 4, SMU in 4, and then Louisville got reverse swept, of course, in the league. So you knew this Miami team would come back. They're showing a lot of resolve in this third set. Because tomorrow at 6, this resume, if it's not in the hosting conversation, that would be disappointing because Miami's done so many things well. And here they sit with great momentum entering tomorrow's Selection Sunday.
And also hosting is so important, especially for a team like Miami that loves to play at home. They feed off the energy of that home court environment. They're 15-2 in home matches. They want that advantage.
Because Miami's gearing up, and all these teams are, for not only tomorrow's selection show, but the next 5 weeks are bonkers, right? The road to Kansas City. So first of all, those first round games, the 4th through the 6th. And then the semifinals will go to a neutral site with the championship. But what I love too, ABC's televising the Final Four this year. So there's so much more national coverage. There's more exposure for the sport. And I mean, this league alone, there's a chance for, I'd say, 5 or 6 teams to make a run to the Final Four.
And you see why there's so much growth when it comes to the attention for this sport. You have elite athletes. Volleyball is so much fun to watch, especially with some of the rule changes. It's fast-paced, a lot of action, long rallies. People are catching on.
5-point Miami lead here in the third. Hampton through the double, and Sophie Hampton now in double figures.
First Tar Heel in double-digit kills, hitting over 200. She's been able to be efficient despite 25 total attacks. She's getting the ball out, getting a lot of opportunities, but she's finding her way to make it work.
Well, Floor just said, you think 25 is a lot of swings. How about 53 attacks through 3 sets? And Feliciano, a little collision there. Couldn't get to the ball. There's an ace for the Tar Heels.
But I think that's what the strength is for North Carolina when it comes to they don't need to have one of their players have 50 attacks because they like to spread that offense around.
Vergara tried her best, but she thought she was getting out of the way. Wilson in the middle has it tipped, and another Tar Heel block. 14 roofs at the net.
And it's come from all over, right? It's not just Shutter, it's not just Taylor. Anybody who's up there has had the ability to shut down the big play.
This 3-0 run has made the third set a little more interesting. Remember, the Tar Heels ended the second set on a 4-point run. Now UNC in system. A rare ball that's overset to him. You don't see that very often. May scoops it up. Rodriguez directing. Shutter short. That's up. Nice save, Feliciano. Back set. Oh, coverage. That is down. Floor thought she had it. Point North Carolina.
What a rally. Physical battle as well as it's like Vergara. A little shaken up after a collision on the court, but look at the effort. I think that's all hand. Brady Cologne thought so too.
She took a quick peek to the line judge, said, "Are you sure you had that right?"
I wonder if she got bumped in the nose or something. There was definitely a collision on Miami's side.
So we have the angle here where Vergara got tipped. Oh yeah. Took Feliciano's noggin to her face.
You know when it just hits that one part of your nose too? It's just so sensitive. Oh, she's back in.
Here's a timeout for Miami as this 4-point run has made things really tight. So as North Carolina tries to fuel a third set comeback, Safi Hampton, not just the 10 kills, but she's been so involved late in this set.
A lot of energy, a lot of spark, fire coming from Hampton. We talked about the vertical, the power she can bring. She's got 4 blocks, 10 kills, hitting over 200. It's been a nice option for this North Carolina defense, and she has brought that energy, the vertical reading, the defense. Hampton, someone who has stepped up into the spotlight this season. Coach Shaw telling us that she is comfortable with the spotlight, and they're happy that it's her that's in the spotlight because she's embraced it.
A balanced Carolina attack's been so big, right? You see Pierce and Smith kicking in. Because in that first matchup, the floor had 23, and really for Carolina, nobody has more than 5. This is an important winning number if you're North Carolina.
And I think that's credit to the setters as well, especially the freshmen that are in Kaza, just being able to make those decisions, knowing you have so many different options. You've got some good serve receive happening too, so you have that 3-option pass to get everybody involved. That's working for North Carolina right now.
Miami with actually more points today than North Carolina in terms of kills, but it's been the blocks and the defense of UNC to neutralize this heavy attack.
And those attacking errors, 27 attacking errors for Miami, 15 for North Carolina.
At this time of year, those mistakes can really compound. This is a tournament preview. One of those games you sort of see in the second weekend, right? Round of 16, round of 8.
I feel like that's what the ACC has brought, though. A lot of these like top 5, top 10 matchups in conference play where I'm like, are we in the postseason? Is this a tournament right now?
Yeah, the coaches said in the schedule making, we want the better teams to play late. There's an emphasis on high RPI games that matter, and an ace continues a 5-point run.
Kaza, second ace of the day, 17th of the season. The freshman doing it all.
Fresh off a double-double against Virginia, she's been lights out. Not even fazed by losing the ball mid-serve.
Left it off.
Heredia Cologne misses long. This is a crazy run. 6 points late in the set. All on the service of this young freshman. There is a touch. Miami responds, 19 apiece. And good to see Vergara back on the court.
Shaken up on that one defensive scramble play after diving for the pancake. That fight continues for Miami.
Is that your Sunday brunch playing? You just dive for the pancakes and fight somebody off?
All in.
Hampton goes down line. Vergara's there. Wilson in system. That's in play. Floor soft touch. Good coverage. Hampton. Feliciano lays out. High-level blocking for the Tar Heels again.
Seven blocks for Lauren Shutter. She tracks this one along with Lainey Smith. The North Carolina block having a party. 15 blocks today.
And what a a swing late in this third set. Miami had total control. 18-14. Targeting Njai. And Amina does not hit hands. The line judge said yes, but the head referee overruled. Now Miami does have one challenge left, so they could use it. That's what Keno's asking. That's interesting, not using the challenge. That would be the final challenge for Miami. But Keno trusting his players. Njai. That time tools the block. That's why Keno trusts his players right there.
And that's one player he really trusts in Njai, being able to come back in after missing a couple weeks. She has kind of been that 0-2 after Heredia Cologne, but seen inconsistent play time in the past couple of weeks, stepping up big.
First match in 3 weeks for Amina Njai. Now Haley Pierce. Feliciano's been everywhere. 18 digs. Floor in the front row is a dangerous proposition. 21 apiece.
Floor continues to use that block, right? That power can be shut down so quickly, but if you can aim it the right way, brush it off that block, you can use it to your advantage.
So Miami with back-to-back points. That's kept up. Feliciano, incredible. Pierce off the block. Pierce again. Nice save. Floor. Scrappy play in the third. Out of bounds. Miami, the 1-point lead.
Feliciano has covered it all. I feel like every time they go to wipe up the floor, it's near her, as she has been laying out to keep these rallies alive, fighting for another point.
Elite libero matchup. Elite offense versus elite defense here in Chapel Hill. Long run on the set and a clearance. Rodriguez. Floor is roaring in the third.
That free ball opportunity so dangerous for this Miami team. When they're in system, it's almost too easy for Floor.
3 straight Miami points. Oh, but North Carolina was knocking on the door. Njai, really good serve. Rodriguez fakes it. Oh, good tool. Better block. Nice effort. Back set. Hampton unloads. The 10-foot arsonist.
Great defensive effort by Miami, but North Carolina comes down with the hammer, also known as Sophie Hampton. I wish we had just like a bench cam, because that Tar Heel bench just exploded.
I have a Phillips, I have a screwdriver, and I have a Hampton. You can use them at any time. How about these pin hitters back and forth? Maddie May on service. Floor again. Set point Miami. That time down line.
Coach Keno has told us before that Heredia Cologne will put it on her shoulders, will put it on her own back to win a game.
Set point Hurricanes. Kaza outside. Pierce misses long. And Mike Shaw verifying. Is this worth the challenge? It is. It would extend the set. And North Carolina will take a look.
There was a little hesitation from that line judge, who has not had it easy today.
Neither is Bonnie O'Connor. He's been looking at everything so far.
Carolina is challenging. The ball was in.
This North Carolina challenge is brought to you by Kakalaki.
Remember, if this call gets overturned, 24-23, so a lot to play for. And here's our best look.
Gotta have enough evidence.
And everyone in the building is seeing the angle we're just looking at.
The call will be reversed. Carolina retains its champion.
It's hard to hear Bonnie O'Connor. This place is so loud here in Carmichael.
Wow. Big call by Coach Shaw.
Remember, race to 25. So this is a critical serve for Zoe Barron. Now Miami can swing for the set. Cologne, down line blasted, Hampton there. And May bumps it over. Rodriguez. And Miami's going for Heredia Cologne with a look to our lead ref. She wants to keep playing. 61 swings and she's in to serve. The Hurricanes' greatest weapon, serving, has not been a factor today. Heredia Cologne swings 62, and she looks fresh as ever.
Heredia Cologne, so much power. She can take full advantage of that open top of the tape, right? Just, hey, you're not going to close down this block. I'm going to make you pay.
By the way, 73 is the magic number for Floor. That's her season high in swings. Might get broken in this set. Little shoulder tap that goes over. Shutter is roofed at the net. Nice start for Dahlia Wilson. Well, how does Miami build off the momentum of set 3 here in the 4th?
I think you build confidence, right? That's an easy one, but you also see, hey, Heredia Cologne struggled, but she came back, something they're used to seeing this season. She knows how to have those in-match adjustments. And also, you took on a North Carolina tough block, but you survived.
Nice swing from Haley Pierce. Some secondary scoring for the Tar Heels. Now 9 kills.
Yeah, Pierce had a really great showing in the first set. Coming out here with a little Kickstarter in set 4.
Wow, NC State up 2-1 on SMU right now. They won bonus points, 32-30. Megan Warren Kearney's club, they're being feisty to end the year. Here's Floor. Maddie May with a great save. Hampton's turn. Over a triple block. That's men's volleyball style. A tip that goes over. Wilson on the slide, and Miami's rolling here in set 4.
Miami flexing their muscles when it comes to adding that middle look. Makes it very challenging for North Carolina blockers to read and track that. Wilson now with 8 kills, hitting over 300. That's what you want to see.
Well, in the last 3 sets, it's been Miami on these 4 5-point runs out of the break, but Carolina's made the adjustment. Pierce has to play it, and that's wide open court. Too easy for Flor Marie.
That's what sets her apart, right? That decision making, and then knowing that she's going to earn a point after that, right? Not just setting up for the free ball opportunity, knowing the ball was probably going to get set back up to her anyway. She just takes that aggressive approach, seeing that wide open court in zone 1.
24th kill for Flor. A little out of system ball, Hampton. Oh, that was a no man's land. Durst had to play it. Oh no, and Carolina collision. Kaza was calling for it, but couldn't break loose.
I swear, being a setter and a middle, your communication has to be so strong because you're just running around that middle of the court trying to create space in transition, but mental mistake early.
That's like roundabouts. You need a traffic guard there to help clear up the collision in the middle. There's a 5-1 start for Miami in the 4th. Make it 6-1, hitting error. Lainey Smith a bit long, and an immediate timeout. We'll take it here with Mike Shaw going to break. Miami, a nice response to start the 4th here in Chapel Hill.
In the wild, everything is always in front of you. Sauvage Elixir, Dior.
Attention
Attention shoppers, prices are doubling.
What's his deal? What's his deal? He got that more for your money feeling at Metro. With one line of unlimited 5G for just $40, period. And a free 5G phone and no activation fees and the best network. Get holiday savings only at Metro.
Cologne, heavy error load early, but stepping up in sets 3 and 4.
She's just getting back to business, right? Taking it on like a pro, being able to make that adjustment, read the defense, strong IQ attacks. That's what she's been doing all year long. And what a November for Heredia Cologne, right? Player of the Week honors, getting that semifinalist or a finalist for Player of the Year honors, getting drafted in a Major League Volleyball draft. A literal pro right now competing.
And I thought cooking a turkey was a big accomplishment for the week. Flora's having herself quite a performance with Selection Sunday looming. Fantastic dig by Wilson. And that goes out of bounds, no touch. This has become a trend here for the Tar Heels. These big deficits early in sets. But they're balanced offense. Smith with 7, Pierce has 9, Hampton 11 kills. That makes the team dangerous come first weekend of the tournament. Out of bounds and a point here on the slide for Miami.
Miami doing a nice job of kind of refreshing that offense, right? It's not as predictable as I feel like we saw in set 2, set 3.
Yeah, Logan Wiley adding another punch as well. She was really good as a freshman last year at Georgia Tech. First swing for Bridget Malone for the Tar Heels. And Flora pounds the floor. Oh, good luck. Although Carolina's going to challenge an earlier play in the sequence. How about that kill though by Flora?
So much pop to her approach.
UNC is challenging that there was a net.
This North Carolina challenge is brought to you by Kakalaki. Kakalaki, famously original.
So Bonnie O'Connor is going to go back in time with the Magic DV Sport.
Just had to do this quite a lot this afternoon.
Oh, she's been busy, no doubt. Her quota just shows you the margins of 2 top 25 teams. Every play could go either way today.
We'll take a look. Bridget Malone on the swing.
Yeah, defensively there, does Vergara get involved with the antenna or the net?
Ooh, maybe a right pinky hitting that antenna.
And right as the crowd went, ooh, the whole Miami team just said, oh, what just happened? Right? I love having these video boards in venues. It adds another element to it.
Another look at that again, looking at 17 in white. Her right hand. Vergara.
Number 17 on
a better
Miami
look. Yep.
Contacted the net.
That does flip a point back to North Carolina. Megan Clifford with a handstand there for UNC after winning the challenge.
A lot of
the story behind that one.
A lot of coaches say, you know, the power and strength of their team is how excited and how great their bench is, and we've seen that from both sides. Big celebrations.
So now it's 7-3 here in the fourth. Bollinger in the serve. Alrighty, Cologne's blocked. Feliciano. Well, this could be incredible. Nope, out of play. Big hands from UNC at the net.
Feliciano, nice touch. Heredia Cologne gets there, but unable to kind of scoop that one to get it back in playable area. A little frustration as she lays down.
I mean, remember, it's 68 swings.
I was
like,
going to say.
This is an exhausting 4 sets. That flight back to Coral Gables is going to be Hopefully with a reclining seat and a nice movie to watch. Some complimentary scoring here for the Hurricanes. There's Vergara.
That's going to be key for Miami right now down the stretch. Yes, Heredia Cologne, 24 kills is lovely, but when you can get Wilson, Wiley, and Vergara involved as well, you create a challenge for the Tar Heels.
The over-under is 88 swings against Florida State. That was a 5-set win. Oh, ho, ho. Well, it doesn't count as a swing, but it's an impressive one there for Heredia Cologne.
Rodriguez may lead the country in service aces, but Heredia Cologne not too far behind because she has so much power with that serve.
And there's the confidence from the senior pin hitter out of Santo Domingo. That one out of play. And Florida, quote unquote, had a quiet day Wednesday. Miami swept NC State, just 30 swings. She's relatively fresh for this Saturday matchup. North Carolina has played 4 matches in 8 days, so both teams having different types of schedules down the stretch. Good swing from Vergara this time on the right.
I love that celebration from Miami. I'm pretty sure Heredia Cologne brought out the dance moves for that one. You can still see energy is high, morale is high. Taking that third set.
Now, Coach Cato's noted we've had second-round teams before, but the cohesiveness of this unit, he thinks that'll push them deep in a tournament. Right now, the serving, though, has not helped Miami today.
Well, I think that cohesiveness stems from what Coach Cato had called their leadership by committee. They have obviously their main voices and vocal leaders when it comes to Flor and Rodriguez, but everybody's taken somebody under their wing, showing them how it's done, and just communicating.
That's why Miami's won 9 of 10 down the stretch. Carolina a little up and down this week. Tough losses, but they bounced back with a Virginia win. Here's Wilson in the middle.
Wilson's been very efficient when she's able to get that set in the right spot. 9 kills for Wilson.
Smith on the slide. That's well placed in the corner. Laney Smith with the point.
What a look for Laney Smith, disguising what she was up to. That late switch, that left hand just pushing deep into that corner for a point.
Wilson on the slide. Good effort to save it there. Everybody hitting the floor. And Malone clears it. Over the head of Malone. Miami's found some options here with Wilson in the middle.
Yeah, Wilson joining that double-digit kill party with Heredia Cologne. Now 10 kills for Wilson. You talk about feeding the hot hand. They have done that in set 4.
Crazy that ball also landed in, too, not just the tip. Good placement from Dahlia. This will be tricky. Kaza gets to it. Wilson tipped that time. And when Shutter's on at the net, that brings another level to Carolina blocking.
Shutter, a big part of why this North Carolina defense has been so good. Her movement, that footwork, so impressive from Shutter.
We saw in the first 2 sets, it was a block party, right? And they slowed down Miami, kept them out of system. When Shutter's on, this team is dangerous come December. Here's Smith. And a net touch against Miami. So North Carolina crawling back in the 4th set.
Those errors have been the biggest issue for Miami right now, being able to try to hold momentum, but North Carolina able to creep back and close the window when Miami picks up these errors.
That swing 68 for Heredia Cologne. Her career high is 88 in the match, which is hard to fathom. Rodriguez did not touch hands, so a hitting error for Miami. These attacking errors are really piling up for the Hurricanes. No error for Wilson there. Good touch by Smith. through the double, and Heredia Cologne with her 25th kill.
Jackie Taylor a little late on that block, trying to close out floor.
This is some high-level volleyball day before the tournament gets started. Miami on the verge of hosting, but a win today would all but secure it. North Carolina, they're in, but it gets real tight with a loss today. Good effort by May. I think what it shows you from North Carolina today, they're playing like a tournament team, which is so important this time of year. As Heredia Cologne gets one back.
As much as Coach Shaw said they're not thinking about it, they don't want to put that pressure on their players. It doesn't really matter if we're thinking about that or not, it doesn't want to change the way they're approaching it. You kind of feel like it is. Not only your last regular season game, but an effort to prove something to the NCAA committee.
And the way Miami played last Sunday, and Coral gave us a really good response from both teams. Deep into the fourth, Malone gets an antenna touch, but it was on the offensive end. So Miami the first to 15. And the last thing North Carolina wants to see is a confident Miami team if this goes 5. Wicked serve. How about May to the floor? Malone barreled up by Wilson. A dump kept alive. Smith over the double. Nice rally.
Maddie May extending this rally, giving her team a fighting chance. Great digs from the libero on her senior day, capped off by a kill for the Tar Heels.
Maddie May noted, I want to make the program better than when I found it 4 years ago. That's certainly the case with these back-to-back 20-win seasons. But a signature win, still searching for it late. The SMU win important. Is there a touch? Yes, the head ref overrules 16-11 Miami.
This Miami team is so quick to voice their emotions when it comes to those calls.
Ken Gandara's club, he lets them kind of coach themselves throughout the match, gives them a ton of confidence through the week. He was a great player at UC Santa Barbara, 2 All-American on the men's side. He met his wife, who also was a volleyball standout. And here's an ace. Rodriguez finally on the board with that serving.
Finally gets one to land. Maddie Mays did a nice job of handling it, but good spot for Rodriguez.
Timeout, North Carolina. And here's Miami on the verge of pushing this match to 5 sets. And here's why it matters, Amanda. We've touched on it all day, but the committee looks at your momentum late in the year. They've won 9 of 10. They're trying to host for the first time ever. They're in position now, whether this goes 5 or not, to have a great resume for the committee.
Yeah, and this is a solid UNC team, right? You've already swept them before, but if you could take down, or add another, top 20 win under your belt, that's not going to hurt for Miami.
And from an RPI metric, road wins have such a high value as well. You add in the home win over Pitt, the win at Georgia Tech, who just lost to Pitt today. Maybe one bad loss that got reverse swept at Cal. But otherwise, the resume is pretty clean.
Those road trips are so tough, especially going out there on the West Coast. Quick turnaround for a lot of these teams when it comes to that travel.
Yeah, Cal yesterday hosted BC Wednesday. They came to Duke on Friday and 1 and 5. Just the frantic part of the schedule. And then North Carolina, meanwhile, the SMU win is the signature, like, hey, here's our top 10 resume. But outside of that, they're looking for another big win. There's a nice opportunity here leading in the 4th.
This is the only opportunity, right? It's the regular season finale. This is it. This is your last chance to plead your case. Obviously, you have a couple other matches happening today, but this is the one that you have control over.
Yeah, home wins over Virginia and Virginia Tech recently, but have struggled on the road here down the stretch, playing a lot of ranked teams late. Those first 2 sets were peak Carolina volleyball. Now they have enough left in the tank to hold off this Miami team that came out swinging in set 4. And the ace leader in the country goes to work. Her first ace a moment ago. Thorpe out of bounds. Tar Heels get one back.
It's a great rate of way to respond, and Maddie May again just handling that serve, being able to just get some type of in-system rotation going.
Julia Bollinger will come in to serve. She's played some good back row rotations. Sophomore to Colorado. Power touch, Bollinger there, slowing down Wiley. Floor through the double. There's 27 kills and counting.
Rodriguez and Heredia Colon have such a great chemistry. That timing on that back set, beautiful timing for that quick kill.
6th time this year, 70 or more swings in a match. And of course, we're only in the 4th set. Who knows what the number ends up being. May returns the rocket. That goes off the tape, so it gives Feliciano a chance. Rodriguez in system. Njai roofed. This Carolina blocking fest, 18 blocks.
The 5th block from Chelsea Thorpe, and that's a great showcase of what this North Carolina team can do when it comes to that blocking scramble play, but they get their act back together. Thorpe gets back in position to close down the play.
Thorpe is her own beatbox, and the way this Carolina team is blocking shots, they are really putting on a show. There's another block. Hampton that time.
A tough position for Miami, right to the hands of Hampton.
Timeout Miami. So Miami has crawled back. That 3rd set, remember, Carolina had a lead late, and then Miami rattles off 4 straight. They've really had control in this 4th set, and it's largely due to their All-American and Flora Marie.
Yeah, she struggled in set 1 and set 2 dealing with this North Carolina block, but just like the veteran and pro she is, she has found ways around that block to get herself going again, doing a nice job of reading the defense, bringing that swing down in the right spots. So much success this season doing just this.
Yeah, the error count was high early, but now she's +8 in terms of kills to errors. 27 of those, 19 errors. And barely breaking a sweat, which is maybe the hardest part to fathom of this whole thing.
She's used to just like reaching milestones, setting program records. She just keeps beating her own program record she set as far as like kills during matches, 42, 43. It just unstoppable, making it really hard for the next player that wants to come in and set some records at Miami.
And here's Miami, who's never hosted in a tournament. They get a real opportunity. From the metrics, you think they'll host, but it's just hard to tell until you know tomorrow night. And it's been one of those matches where Flores had to go through a lot of ups and downs, but yet up 4 in the 4th.
Yeah, it's crazy how much we're talking so well of her, yet she's dealt with these errors and these inconsistencies, yet playing through it and still making an impact.
Thanks to the Thorpe block party. The silent disco nights where you play the own beats on your head these days, like that's the new COVID thing to do.
Yeah.
Thorpe would be my pick to go to those. Carolina in system. Thorpe rattles through the block, and it's a 3-point set.
Powerful celebration followed up by a powerful swing. Thorpe with 6 kills, 5 blocks. She's been going after it.
That's through the block. Flo Marie gets one back. 28 kills and counting.
She is such a workhorse. Has that windshield wiper mentality, right? Doesn't matter what happened in the play before. I don't care about your career high hitting errors, nothing like that. We're on to the next.
Pitt, SMU, Louisville all projected as top 2 national seeds. Which of these teams can join them in that top 4 and get protected deep in this tournament? Feliciano's service error gives it right back. And if you're North Carolina, a win today puts you in a spot where you're not facing a Nebraska in round 2. Maybe you're a 6 or a 5 seed to get a better draw throughout the tournament. A lot to be decided in the next couple of sets. Over ball. Shutter, easy business.
Lauren Shutter. Fiery swing right here middle blocker, you're just foaming at the mouth when you see this ball coming over there. Nice big swing.
Njai gets engaged. Miami 5 points in the 5th set. Remember, this is Njai's first match in 3 weeks. And the same for Olivia Durst. Hasn't played a ton down the stretch, so Coach Gandara has very tight rotations. He's opened it up in this final game of the season. And needed the way Carolina's defense has played. Smith on the slide. That's out of bounds, 20-18.
North Carolina continuing to chip away at that deficit.
Hampton into the net. Those are one of those points that can be crucial here late. Both teams serving at the high level. Amina Njai. Tight set. Bowser's handled the load in the 6-2, but no stopping floor. 29 kills.
I really like the way Feliciano handled that second touch, just pushing teammates out of the way. You got to get the job done. You know, the libero normally takes that second touch when your setter's out, doing a nice job of passing that set over to set up Heredia Club.
Well, she one day dreams of being a pediatric PT, so she's got the ability to operate a room, get control. Over ball. Pierce's turn. Rodriguez, good hands, and the setter in control. A little finger wag there, too.
Rodriguez doing a nice job of staying up at that net, staying aggressive and reading and timing those jumps.
It's not just elite serving, high assist numbers. She can block at the net as well.
And over 100 kills this season.
A nice three-point run for Miami. Pierce into the block. Rodriguez has taken control in set 4.
Thought that almost hit the face of Rodriguez or Wilson, but they just absorbed that power, shut that play down.
A brief smile from Mariana Rodriguez. She's locked in, trying to push this match 5. On the Njai service run. Smith in play for Pierce. Now Miami could swing for the 5th. Nice dig, Feliciano. Floor. Good save, too. Rodriguez towards the bench. And a free ball. Lady Smith extends the set.
What a rally. Lady Smith, 12 kills. 4 blocks. Have a day.
Back-to-back matches against Miami where Smith has shown her versatility. Here's another set point. Ooh, that's tight for Rodriguez. Floor again is blocked. This time it's Taylor at the net. 11 blocks for Jackie Taylor.
One of the best blockers on this team, one of the best blockers in the nation for a reason. Her timing, impeccable on that read.
But still some work to do. 24-20 for Maddie May. Durst starts it. Floor. Out of bounds. Earns a touch. And we're going for her best. 88 would be the magic number. By the way, 80 swings in 4 sets is next level. And gets targeted on serve to start the 5th. Swing 81 is kept in play. Swing 82 is tooled down the line for a kill.
Floor does such a nice job of reading those hands, right? Denied the first time around, then takes the angle on the tip this time around. Kills. Her program record, her best, 43 kills.
Wilson with a tricky serve and an ace. Dahlia was bending her knees, praying that went over the net, laughing at herself that it worked.
First ace for her this afternoon.
Just like she drew it up.
She's like, woo.
Well, Ariana's the ace leader in the country. Let me try a little float serve here. Smith. Nice effort. That keeps it alive. Vergara off hands. Oh, was there an antenna there? Yes, there was. Point Miami. And when you're racing to 15, that forces early timeouts. North Carolina's going to talk about it, and we'll step aside. Ken Ogandara's club showing life here in the 5th.
Introducing Shake Shack's Big Shack. We took something that sounds familiar and made it different. Hit it, Gary. 2 all-beef quarter-pound, 100% humanely raised and grazed Angus patties, made to order. Secret sauce. Vibrant, hand-harvested green, whoops, go back, green leaf lettuce. American cheese, I guess from America. Thick cut dough pickles, hand-sliced white onions on a buttered and toasted potato bun. Woo, the Big Shack. Oh, and Roma tomatoes.
Black Friday is happening now at the Home Depot.
Are you feeling holiday ready?
Oh yeah, the tree is just the beginning.
We're ready to be unforgettable.
Get the decor that makes the holidays yours this Black Friday at the Home Depot.
Cat, I'm telling you, this is going to be a special season for New York. Man, I'm hyped. We got something no other team has. Best fans in the league. A certified game changer. Ooh, and I love playing for them. A playmaker. A big-time ball in the clutch. A walk-in highlight reel. Who are you talking about? Me. A ball handler extraordinaire, a shooter, somebody that plays above the rim, the whole package. Coach. It's ball over everything.
We're on the Gilligan's Island 3-hour tour pace. Selection Sunday right around the corner. That's tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Nebraska, the undefeated team. They'll be number 1. Everyone else is up for grabs on the race to the final, the regional finals and the national finals. Penn State reigning champs, their bubble team. They'll probably get in, but there's a lot of new faces in the top 10 this year. Miami put on a statement here in this 3rd set. Another block, and it's 4-0 Hurricanes.
Something Miami has really added late in this match, being able to put up that big defensive front, slowing this North Carolina offense down.
Yeah, in sets 1 and 2, it was the Carolina block. They were all over the place, flipping the script here in the 5th set. Long run for the young setter, Kaza. Whoa, kick save. No, that's ruled a 4th touch. I love the effort, though, by Miami.
Big swing from Malone.
1-2. Oh, I guess there was a double there initially on Wilson. Okay. That's how thin the margins are. North Carolina gets a gift. Barron outside. And Thorpe puts it away. Back-to-back points.
You need somebody that's going to start a fire. It's going to be Chelsea Thorpe right there with the big swing, hyping up her team. And this is how the past couple sets have started for North Carolina, trailing after Miami comes off to a hot start. But in a set that only goes to 15, you got to close that gap early.
They'll rotate at the 8-point mark. Miami, 3 big 5-set wins here in the conference. It's been their strength. That block is in play. Hello, Flor Marie. 33 kills.
I feel like she's had to kill in 33 different ways as well. They've all come, you know, a line shot, a tip, through the block, splitting the block, wiping the block. She has just done it in so many ways, so creative.
And she's on the verge of her new career high in total attacks, right? So it's been a dynamic effort.
And balancing that workload is something that Coach Keno talks about. They've done it her whole career, is balancing that workload, and she's used to having a lot on her plate.
By the way, that assist, it's 50 dimes for Ariana Rodriguez. Now she's on serve. Barron has to run all over the court. Feliciano dives. Flor is blocked. Another one from Taylor.
A dozen blocks for Jackie Taylor. A lot of them coming up against Heredia Cologne. A nice press down over the net.
Miami 4-2 in 5 setters in the conference. They've lived in these emotional matchups. Floor with a nice little tip right there. 34 kills.
And giving North Carolina a different look, not only with her attack, but that time it was coming from the right side.
87 swings for Floor, just unheard of. Final day of the regular season, not wasting time. Whew. Nice return by May. Hampton's dugout. Another blast. There's Vergara. Rodriguez is loving it.
Service there for Miami.
Out of bounds. No touch. Coach Gandara's unit overcoming a tough first 2 sets. And now have the lead as we switch sides. What a 5-set battle in this tournament preview. It's Miami up 8-5 in this race to 15. You look at Miami, they've never hosted as a program, so there's a lot on the line. A win would all but secure that. Even with a loss, they're in the conversation, but they don't necessarily clinch. And then for North Carolina, it's about who you play in the tournament and when you play them. Right now, as an 8 seed, you're probably facing a Pitt or a Nebraska in the first week. You win this match, it bolsters your resume of who you face in the tournament.
Yeah, I think Miami is really hungry to host as well. You look at the weapons you have right now on this team. You want to take advantage of the group they have.
Yeah, this senior class has done a lot of things well, but never out of the second round. Nice clearance by Feliciano. Here's Hampton. Hampton again. That's in play. Nice shot from Sophie Hampton.
Not sure if that was on purpose. Kind of an awkward contact with the ball, but kind of sails down the line, lands in. Hampton with a dozen kills too. Hampton and Smith both with 12.
Wilson in the middle. That's where she's been dangerous. 11 kills for Dahlia Wilson. And it's not just Floor in this match. Vergara's gotten involved. Wilson stepped up. There's other players coming alive.
That's what Coach Keno is so aware of. You know, Floor makes everybody else better around her.
Floor, soft touch. That beats Maddie May at her home court. It's 10-6 Hurricanes.
Nice timing on that attack for Floor, just up and over that block as that block was coming down for North Carolina. Great read.
Well, you have Miami leaning on its veteran, Flor Marie Heredia-Colón. Feels like yesteryear she had 35 kills against Pitt in that 5-set win. I mean, it hasn't been the easiest 35 kills, but it's been timely here for Miami.
And if you're Coach Keno, you're happy to see this, right? You're happy to see this fight. Maybe didn't want it to force into 5 sets, but you're happy to see this fight headed into a postseason that you know is going to be a battle down the stretch, and seeing Floor get challenged and being able to step up in spite of that. And I also feel like ever since Injai came in, you know, in that 3rd set, a player that had seen so much action with this program before, coming in, having some really nice serves, a couple kills, something changed a little bit when Coach Keno started changing it up.
Njai's been really good. Vergara has the double-double. And then for North Carolina, if they can resurrect this block party, right? 21 blocks. Early in the match, it was all the blocking. And then recently, a little harder time slowing down this Miami offense.
And that's credit to Miami's adjustments, working around those high hands, using them to their advantage. Whether that's a tool, tip, wipe. A nice job on coverage as well. Feliciano, 29 digs for Miami. She's been everywhere.
One of those matches you circle as a nice tournament preview. Give you a taste of what week 1 is coming up. So if you like this, watch tomorrow at 6 when the whole bracket gets revealed on ESPN. It's senior day here in Chapel Hill. Final home match for the Tar Heels, and they showed a ton of life. There's Maddie May, one of the veterans. But they are backs against the wall. 5 points from the match. Jasmine Vergara, grad senior, in to serve. Oh, and the music was playing as Vergara was serving. Bonnie O'Connor's like, hey, we got to follow some rules here. That's okay. Everyone's having fun. Nothing intentional there. Now Vergara serves. Hampton brings her own tune. Nice kill for Carolina.
Hampton is like a jack-in-the-box. I see Miami's hands go up for the block, and then Hampton just rises above, pops up over that block, comes up with the big swing. For athleticism on full display.
Hampton and Smith have carried this offense today for UNC. Rodriguez has to bump this. And the Tar Heels capitalize. Njai on the roll. Difficult dig. Feliciano scoops. And a touch over. Njai blocked in. There's the Carolina defense.
Lady Smith and Lauren Shutter. It's going to be really hard to get past those two. They have had themselves an afternoon at the net. That set kind of leading Njai right into those hands.
Well, here's one of the best blocking teams in the country. I guess one of the best offensive teams in the country. And both units have been dialed in tonight. Wilson on the slide. Better dig from Kaza. Malone scooped up. Oh, confusion here. And Flor swings. A block. Dahlia Wilson up for the challenge.
Wilson, we've talked about her offensive production, 11 kills, but she's got 7 blocks to go along with it. A nice job reading, tracking right alongside Rodriguez. Good movement.
And as Tom Hanks would yell, Wilson! Impressive presence at the net. Another good save from Njai, slowing down Malone. Did that block stay in? No, it's out of bounds. Miami 3 points in the match.
I don't know how Flor just did that. That was such a hard bump set to track into the net at the top of the tape. But Heredia-Colón gets it done.
Great 5th set battle. Final day of this regular season, living up to it. Out of bounds, North Carolina gets one back. when these programs met. Miami had all the action in Coral Gables in 3. And we're back to a 5-set thriller. Maddie May in her final home match to serve. Wilson. Good touch, Hampton. Malone. Off her head. Rodriguez plays it. Oh, that's a kick. Called a lift. So it's point Miami. Mike Shaw checking who made the call. And now a challenge. Remember, in the 5th set, you get that bonus challenge, so North Carolina will use it.
Carolina is challenging. There was no net. The original call was net.
Okay, net touch. That's a key distinction.
This North Carolina challenge is brought to you by.
Yeah, there was so much confusion on the wild touch to keep the ball alive, but before that, there was a possible net touch. We'll give you the best look we have, and we can all figure it out as we go. You see the ball hit the net, but does a player hit the net? Oh, maybe that hand.
Thinking Bridget Malone. Number 10 in blue reaches over there.
Yeah, it's that
touches the top
follow
of the
through.
tape.
If it hits the net, that still counts as a net touch. I think Carolina's seen the replay. They have to refocus now. If this call stands, it'll be 13-9.
Carolina fully capable of a comeback. We've seen that in a couple sets now, making it close. But again, set 5, it only goes to 15. Not a lot of time to make errors.
And the longer Bonnie O'Connor looks at this, the more you always wonder. Here comes Bonnie with the ruling.
Call is confirmed. Point Miami.
Okay, so there was a net touch like we showed you. That was a tough one to figure out. But this crew has been very active. They've stayed engaged, and now it's 13-9.
Well, there has been so much net play, right? Today, that's why we're getting these close calls. So much physicality and traffic right near the net.
39th all-time meeting, maybe my favorite so far. 5-set thriller here in Chapel Hill. Casa feeds the middle. What a swing from Taylor.
Just 3 kills from Jackie Taylor. That one is incredible, but credit to Casa on that back set and athletic play. Jackie Taylor in front of the attack line brings it down.
SMU has just reverse swept NC State, coming from the depths. Now Miami trying to do the same. That ball's tipped. Rodriguez the dump. Match point.
Rodriguez does a nice job of timing that, having that court vision, has eyes on the side of her head. 3 kills for Rodriguez, over 100 this season.
And now the nation's best server can close out a 5-set thriller. Pretty good serve. May returns it. Thorpe with life. Vergara off hands. This has to go over. And now a free ball. Out of bounds. And Miami comes into Chapel Hill. Reverse sweeps their way to a huge top 25 win.